What's up guys, it's Mega giving you another deck for Link Evolution. Today guys, we're doing another deck request and that is a Sky Striker deck. This deck is of course my own opinion at the end of the day and it's completely cool if you guys disagree with any of the cards shown in the video. I want to hardly stress out right now that Sky Strikers aren't really as powerful as they used to be because Engage, one of the key cards that let you search out anything and draw an additional card, is banned. And also, we don't have the TCG like limitations where Kagari isn't limited. We still got her at 1, she isn't limited. We have Widow Anchor limited to 1. In the TCG it's limited to 2, so you can have 2 Widow Anchor. You see what I mean? We actually do have a lot more limitations than what they do in the TCG, so it actually makes life a little bit harder to make this deck. That doesn't mean that this deck's bad. In fact, you just chuck in like literally like a load of hand traps, the deck is actually not that bad because you just interrupt your opponent, then you just go mad and do whatever you want to do. And like I constantly say guys, I am requesting some more decks, so if you want me to make one, just comment and I will add it to my list. Here's the one we're currently doing, and then you see all the ones we're going to be doing afterwards. So leave a comment and I will get down to it when I. If you're struggling to make this deck or any deck shown so far, check out the card hub. Not every tell you cards in this game or not, it will also tell you where to find it, such as campaign, challenge mode, or card part. That does include the new cards added via the update. Also, that's in the description down below, along with my Twitch, where I do try and stream this game when I have time, and especially on my days off, where I'm going to attempt to start to speedrun some of the campaigns. Also, also down below is my Discord, where if you want to ask me any questions, you're more than welcome to. And with that, guys, let's get into the video. Now, as you can see, guys, we are running so many hand traps, it's untrue. I think we've got like a grand total of like 13, 14. The reason why is just because, why not? There is literally so many. The reason why I've got so many hand traps is because you just interrupt your opponent with them. Especially in a lot of these, like, especially a lot of decks you can play in this game. Against heroes, they're going to combo like mad. Super Heavy 6 Samurai, sorry, they will combo like mad. Zombies combo like mad. I'm trying to think of some other ones that can combo. Dragon Links, a lot of them can combo. If you get Nibiru, you can shut them down. If you have Effect Veiler, depending on the key cards, or Ash Blossom, shut them down. You see what I mean? Like Ghost Ogre, pop the opponent's card, destroy them. Really comes in handy. And then you can go into your own Sky Striker plays and go from there. Realistically, you can cut some of the hand traps if you want, add other cards. They just seem to work for me, and that's why I put them in. Opening up with at least 2-3 hand traps is absolutely insane, and if you can get, like, say, a Sky Striker card or a couple of Sky Striker cards, you can just go mad from there as well. So starting us off, guys, is 2 copies of Ash Blossom. I would realistically add 3 if I could, but you can't, just limited to 2. So should your opponent add a card from the deck to the hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from the deck to the grave, she just shuts it down and they won't be able to search. Comes in really handy against hero cards. 3 copies of Effect Veiler. It's like basically Infinite Impertinence, just that you can only activate Effect Veiler during your opponent's main phase. So during the main phase, should they activate a monster effect, just discard Effect Veiler and shut the effect down. Then 3 copies of Ghost Ogre. If I could run 3 Ash, I'll take out a Ghost Ogre, which is not actually a bad effect monster, guys. Basically, when a monster on the field activates its effect, or a spell or trap that's already on the field, basically like in a quick, like a continuous card or something, activates its effect, you can discard the Ghost Ogre, destroy the card. You can also activate Ghost Ogre's effect from the field as well, please bear that in mind. However, she doesn't negate the card, she only destroys it. Please bear that in mind, but she's such a good card to like interrupt your opponent's play. So like, say for instance, if you're going up against Infinity, you've chained a card, Infinity tries to negate whatever card you've got, just Ghost Ogre it, then it gets destroyed. 3 copies of Nibiru, the Primordial Being, or the Primal Being, sorry. The reason why this card is literally the best card ever to go up against combo decks. There's a lot of combo decks out there, especially in this game. He just literally is like cancer to absolutely all of them. So during the main phase, if your opponent special summons 5 or more monsters during the turn, you contribute all of them and summon Nibiru to your side of the field, then you summon a token to your opponent's side of the field who has the same attack and defense as all the tributed monsters. So it's just a way to just literally get around your opponent's entire board, shut them down, and you literally get a Nibiru that could go over the monster token if you put it in defense mode. Sky Striker cards themselves, guys, got 3 copies of Ray, one of the best ones. Quick effect, you can tribute her, special on the Sky Striker Link monster from your extra deck. And when this card is in your graveyard, should a Sky Striker Link monster be destroyed by battle or leaves the field via an effect, you can special summon Ray from the graveyard. And then again, you just play her effect and just go into another link summon. Absolute great, guys. Here's the original one, but we are running the other Sky Striker, which is Sky Striker Ace Rose. So if a Sky Striker monster is normal or special summoned, except for Rose, special on this card from your hand. Great if you want to go into Zeta. If an opponent's monster in the extra monster card zone is destroyed by battle or leaves the field via a card effect, special summon Rose from the graveyard. And you can only and should you do, you can negate the effects of one face-up monster your opponent controls, really. But she's just great. She's great if you combine her with like Ray or Hornet Drone, because you can go to like higher links. So that's why I like Rose. And also, at the end of the day, because they did add like another Sky Striker card, you literally have 5 Sky Striker cards in your entire deck that you can go into all of your links. If you want to take out a card, like take out a Ghost Ogre and run 3 Rose, by all means go for it. We are running, so go to some spells, guys. We're rolling a lot. We are running 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. It's basically MST but better. So it's a quick play, can play during your turn or your opponent's. You can pay 1,000 life points, target 1 spell or trap on the field, and banish it. Because that's the word banish, doesn't destroy. So you've got cards like spell or traps or whatever, or monsters that say spell or traps can't be destroyed or stuff like that, or cards on your field can't be destroyed. Cosmic Cyclone just gets around it because it doesn't destroy. And because it banishes, 9 times out of 10, you prefer them to be banished, because then a few cards have like spell or trap, like cards have like effects activate should they be destroyed. This just gets around them. Then 1 copy, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Mystic Mine. I can't believe I actually put Mystic Mine in one of my decks. I feel all weird inside. This card is limited to 1, by the way. It has effects which are really annoying. Like if you need to stall, you can stall. So if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, your opponent cannot activate monster effects, nor can they declare an attack, but they can play spell and trap. So please bear that in mind. If you control more monsters, then you can't activate monster effects or attacks. So please bear that in mind with Mystic Mine. Once per turn during the end phase, if both players control the same number of monsters, destroy this card. So why is Mystic Mine good? Because, like I say, we are running so many hand traps. If you haven't got access to your Sky Striker cards and you've got access to Mystic Mine, you can play that. Your opponent cannot attack you. You've got all your hand traps in your hand. You can just disrupt your opponent until you get the cards you need. We are got the terraforming to search out the Mystic Mine. You can add cards such as Set Rotation, or you could add in Metaverse and take out a card. You can do that to your heart's content. Whatever makes life easier to get access to Mystic Mine should you need it. Some draw power, guys. I've got 1 copy of Pot of Avarice. It is limited to 1. The reason I've got this card is, guys, is because you go through your extra deck like that. You can easily get 5 monsters in the grave, especially running hand traps and going through all your links, because obviously you go into a link, go into another one, go into another one with the effects. It's so easy to get 5 monsters in the graveyard. You can just keep, like, just recycling back into your extra deck, draw 2 cards, nice and easy. It is limited to 1 though. 2 copies of Desires. I decided to add in Desires just because I need draw power, and this just adds in more. In my opinion, a decent one. This is the reason why we're running a lot of like 2 ofs, if not 3 ofs, because if in case one of the copies just get banished, you still have another copy with because obviously Desires obviously banishes them. At least you're running a lot of copies of certain cards, so you get access to a lot more of them. Then Reinforcement of the Army, our Ray and our Rose are warriors, just searches out your Sky Striker monster. 2 copies of Area 0. This is also a field spell that you can activate with Terraforming. You can target 1 other card you control. Reveal the top 3 cards. If it's a Sky Striker card, add it to your hand, and then you send the card you targeted to the graveyard. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, by a card effect, you can special summon a Sky Striker monster from your deck. So If you just have this and multi-roll, you can just literally force the Era Zero's effect with multi-roll. Absolute great, and also you can search out cards should you need it. Then we're running 2 copies of Afterburners. If you control, so the Sky Striker spells realistically activate if you control no monsters in your main monster card zone. So that's why you're running a lot of links. If you control no monsters in your main monster card zone, you can target one face-up monster on the field, destroy it. If you have three or more spells in the grave, you can destroy 1 spell or trap your opponent controls as well. Absolute great. It only works on face-up monsters, please bear that in mind, but it's just great to pop your opponent's cards, and if you've got obviously the spells in the grave, just pop your opponent's back row. We're running 1 copy of Jamming Waves. You, by all means, you can just take out this card and add in, like I say, Set Rotation, Metaverse, whatever. You don't need to run Jamming Waves. I just ran it just because it gives me a little bit more options. So this is the opposite to Afterburners, where you can destroy 1 set spell or trap on the field, destroy it, and if you have 3 or more spells in the grave, you can destroy a monster on the field. Running 1 copy of Hornet Drone, guys, is limited to 1, otherwise I'd run more than it. You basically get special summon a Sky Striker token. Because it has the word Sky Strike in its name, you can go into all of your other links. And if you have 3 or more spells, basically the monster gains 1500 attack and defense. You don't really play it for that effect, you don't really care. You just use it to get an extra monster on board, to go into higher link plays, or you just use it to go into a Sky Striker card to begin with. Then 3 copies of Shark Cannon. This is like Core by the Grave for Sky Strikers. So if you control no monsters, you can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. The effects do still trigger, please bear that in mind. But if you have 3 or more spells in your grave, you can special summon that monster to your field instead of banishing it. Then 1 copy of Widow Anchor is limited to 1, guys, otherwise I'd run more. Well, also I'd run more than, because Widow Anchor is just literally great. You can target 1 face-up monster on the field, negate its effect, so it's like an infinite opponent and effect veiler. And if you have 3 or more spells in your grave, you take control of that monster until the end phase. Absolute great Widow Anchor. 1 copy of Multi-Roll, again limited to 1. You can target 1 card you control, send that card to the graveyard. Also, your opponent can activate spell or can activate cards or effects in response to your spell card's activations. And during the end phase, you can set a Sky Striker spell or trap from your graveyard up to the number of Sky Striker cards you activated that turn, but banish them should they leave the field. So, if you played this, then play the field spell, you do all of that from your monsters. If you have a Sky Striker spell card in the grave, just bring it back to the field, boom, use it again. Basically, it lets you go into like summoning, lets you like reuse your Widow Anchor, reuse your Shark Cannons, absolute great. Rolling 1 copy of Terraform, like I say, this searches out Area Zero and it can search out Mystic Mine. Upstart Goblin lets you just draw an additional card. Your opponent gets 1000 life points, but drawing that 1 card can be key. Going on to some traps, guys. 3 copies of Infinite Opponents. This is like a hand trap in itself, because if you control no cards, you can play this card from your hand. It's literally Effect Veiler, but better, because Effect Veiler can only activate during the main phase, while Infinite Opponents can activate whenever it wants. And should you set this card, you can reveal it and target 1 monster on the target 1 monster in the field, negate its effect. But whatever spell or traps are in this card's column will also be negated as well, so please bear that in mind. Extra deck, guys, we are running 1 copy of a Bowl Sword Dragon. It is easy to go into link 4s and easy to go in go to higher links than just to link 1 or 2s. So I decided to add in Bowl Sword just to help with either OTKs or to get over pesky cards that have very high attack points, such as Chaos Max, Rainbow Neos, I don't know what other cards have very high attack points, but a lot of cards that have high attack points, because Bowl Sword cannot be destroyed in battle. And also you can target 1 attack mode monster on the field, change it to defense mode. If you activate it during your turn, Bowl Sword can attack twice, and should Bowl Sword attack into a monster, you can cut that monster attack and give it to Bowl Sword. 1 copy of Crystalline Harbor Fibrax or Needle Fiber. We are running so many tuners, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler and Ghost Ogre are all tuners. Very easy to go into Crystalline Needle Fiber. And basically through its effect you get a special on another tuner, so you go into another hand trap, and then you can go into like link 3s or go into a link 4 play with this. It just helps shoot up your links basically. One copy of Nightmare Phoenix. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card and target one spell trap your opponent controls and destroy it. Just there to help with back row. Unicorn, you can use this with Needle Fiber because it's link free. If this card is link summoned, you can discard one card, then target one card on the field, return it to the deck. So you just go. So with just going into Needle Fiber, you have everything you need. Just go into Unicorn, then you just bounce back whatever card your opponent has. Boom, have a nice day. Going on to some Sky Strike cards, we're running 3 Hayate, very good. She can attack your opponent directly. And after this card engages in a battle, even if your opponent attacks into her, you can send a Sky Striker card from your deck to your grave. That does include a monster, that does include spell or traps. Really great. One copy of Kagari. She is limited to 1, otherwise I'd run more. If this card is special summoned, you can target a Sky Striker card in your grave, add it to your hand. So a little combo, guys, you can do. If you go into Hayate and your opponent's got, I don't know, big kaiju or something big on the field that you can't get over, you can use her effect to send whatever card you want to the graveyard. So if you want to add a Wither Anchor, take control, or a Shot Cannon, or just want to blow cards up with Afterburners, just send it to the graveyard. Then after the battle phase, just link her array into Kagari, add whatever card you added to your hand, because then that way you can play Afterburners, destroy your opponent's card. Really great. One copy of Kana? This card is actually great to go into your opponent's turn. So whenever one of your links is destroyed, like say you can go into Ray, you can use a quick effect to go into a link summon monster. You can just go into her. So if this card is special summoned, target one face up monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So if you do it during your opponent's turn, again, you can just force it to not attack you, and it's just absolutely great. You do gain 1,000 life points each turn you activate a Sky Striker spell or trap or spell card if this card's on the field. We don't really use it for that. You really use it just to kind of get around your opponent's monster attacks. 3 copies of Shinjuku. She's listed the card you want to go into during the end phase, or if you can during your opponent's turn, summon her during your opponent's turn. So all your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack for each spell in the graveyard, which actually comes in handy. And if this card is special summoned during the end phase of that turn, you can add a Sky Striker spell from your deck to your hand. So with just this one card, you could add the Hornet Drone, Shark Cannon, Willow Anchor, whatever you need, you can add. Again, if you did it during your opponent's end phase, like summoned her, her effect will still activate. And then one copy of Sky Striker Ace Zeke. If this card is, this is a link 2, and if this card is link summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field and banish it onto your opponent's next end phase. And also you can target one other card you control. This card gains 1,000 attack points, and then you can send whatever card you targeted to the graveyard. So again, if you're going to play with Area 0, its effect's going to trigger to special another Sky Striker monster. There's a lot of combos you can do. And then one copy of Topologic Bomber Dragon. I still like this card in this deck just because we don't have access to access code talk yet. So that's the reason I added in this card. This card is like, if another monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, while this card is on the field, destroy all monsters in the main monster card zone. That does include your own and or your opponent's. Also, should this card attack a monster, you can inflict damage equal to that monster's attack points, which really comes in handy. But with a lot of cards such as Hornet Drone, Shark Cannon, Widow Anchor that you can either special summon to your field, like cards, it's so easy to just nuke your opponent's field all the time. The only reason I like going into Bomber Dragon. If you like this deck, guys, hit that thumbs up, makes the channel grow, and I get to see if you like this deck or not. Like I say, you do not have to run by any means all of these hand traps. I just find them fun to play because obviously you're disrupting your opponent enough every turn, and as long as you can get access to like a Sky Striker monster or say Mystic Mine, you can play out the duel even with all the hand traps. So if you, so like I say, you can change it around if you want. By all means, go for it. It's not set in stone. And the next deck, I believe, is a. The next deck we're gonna make is a rank 10 train deck. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. It's really gonna be fun. I don't know, but we'll take some time to do. But if I've got some replays coming up, guys. If you want to watch them, go for it. See how this deck plays and just see how annoying it is going up against hand traps. And that's it, guys. Wherever you are in the world, please remember to stay healthy, stay safe, and take care. Goodbye.